pains in my 360-degree ability. Vision near, lose the feel, let there be reason. Give circulation to the nation, we are one. Everything is fun under the sun. I just tell myself to fly. The sun, you breathe, you breathe. $60 on the shelf is my wealth. I'm the best at being myself. I can tell you American dreams, nice things from the shop, but I really think that it should better. 360, 5 days on the wall. Live each day like my last. Green like paper over plastic. Wrap my head around the whole world is a blast. If you open up to magic, I just wanna tell you fly. You do not need me to fly. The sun, you breathe. The sun, you see. Why you waiting? Why you made that lie? I will rise with the tribe. I can feel your vibe from the other side. From the other side, I will rise with the tribe. I can feel your vibe from the other side.
See something beautiful. Capture something beautiful.
You looked at me with certainty. I couldn't look away. Took your jacket off like you were here to stay. Chasing your pretty thoughts and your plastic love. There goes my mind. It's going, gone. You're that lace trim danger. One day you'll be the face of a stranger. Cause don't you know, nothing but Chinese stays the same. Don't you know, nothing but Chinese stays the same.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Graduates, may we please have your attention? We will do a short demonstration on what's expected of you on stage. You will come with your sashes on, whether you are a degree candidate or a diploma candidate. You will also come with your name sitting card, the white name sitting card. You will walk on the ramp, stand on the red foot marker like he is standing, hand in your name sitting card. Please do not look at the dean who's calling out your name. Look in that direction and smile. That's your first photo on stage. Your name sitting card will be handed back to you. Degree candidates, you will kneel on that little stool while the Chancellor or Vice Chancellor confers your degree. Diploma candidates, you do not kneel. You walk straight across, stand in front of the registrar, and smile. That's your second photo on stage. You will walk down the ramp. Ladies with heels, please be careful. And capture your third photo right at the end, where we have black umbrellas and a blue backdrop. You will then walk back to your seats. If you are interested in the photos, we are just outside in the foyer. Lastly, Mr. Aubrey from the Unisa Graduate School of Business Leadership. If you would like to see him, that is if you are interested in MBA and MBL exec education programs, he's just outside the foyer for those who are interested in those programs. Enjoy your day.
You're sinking in, you're sinking in my soul. Thought to myself, don't you lose control. Started to undress you with my wandering eyes. Told myself you'd be gone by sunrise, 'cause you're that lace trim danger. One day you'll be the face of a stranger, stranger, stranger. 'Cause don't you know, nothing but change stays the same. Don't you know, nothing but change stays the same. I'm gonna look away, chasing your pretty thoughts. You're sinking in my soul, chasing your pretty thoughts. Gonna look away, chasing your pretty thoughts. You're sinking in my soul, chasing your pretty thoughts. Don't look back, just let it go. Nothing but change stays the same. Don't look back, just let it go. Nothing but change stays the same.
By virtue of the power vested in me as Vice-Chancellor, I constitute this gathering a congregation of the University of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in silent prayer meditation to give thanks for the achievements being celebrated on this occasion. Thank you. We may be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Well, I know that we are in the city of Cape Town, and we are doing the right thing by greeting the Cape Townians. And I can guarantee you that until such time that I get a response, you will be surprised that I will continue greeting you until such time that I get the response. So I just want to say once again, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is good news. I can guarantee you now I've heard you. So there is no reason for me to complain in whatever manner, because that's all that I was looking for. Just want to greet you this afternoon to say we are excited to have this opportunity of graduating you as Unisa students. It is one of the best times when we reach this point in terms of the milestone that we commit ourselves to when we enroll with the university. So we are as excited as you are, but similarly as your families are. So I just want to say that please remember, you are here for a celebration. That's one thing that must consistently be in your minds throughout this particular process of this afternoon. And then before I can proceed with my opening remarks, I just want to recognize our senior officials from the side of the university who are going to be officiating with me this afternoon. In my case, as the Principal and Vice Chancellor, we have from the side of Executive Dr. Keith Jacobs, who is Acting Registrar of the university. And representing our colleges are senior managers who are going to be presenting your names, as it were, during this process, starting with Professor T. Kambule, who is representing the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, Professor O.J. Kule, who is the Deputy Executive Dean of the College of Law. We have Professor M.T. Mukhale, the Executive Dean of the College of Economic and Management Sciences. We have Professor J. Siroto, who is the Director of the School in the College of Education. Then we have Professor M.M. Moleki, who is the Director in the School of Social Sciences in the College of Human Sciences. She is together here with Professor N.P. Mpako, who is the Director of the School of Arts in the College of Human Sciences, and she is going to be representing the College of Human Sciences. Then we have Dr. M.T. Shongwane, who is the Director of the School from the College of Accounting Sciences, and Professor L. Leonard, who is the Director of the School from the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, representing that college. And then we have Mr. Lizai Mashishi, who is responsible for the executive program from the Graduate School of Business Leadership, and he's here to represent that college. As we know, that the college, which is fairly new in our midst, although the school has existed since the 60s, has attained the status of being a college. So he is here then in that particular context. I just want to say that as a university, we are excited about the opportunity that we've extended to our own students that you graduate in this form. We know how tough this year has been. I mean, COVID-19 pandemic has actually disrupted the lives of virtually everyone, not only in this country, but across the globe. And we know that we were all confined in our homes since March of this year. And of course, we are human beings and therefore also social. That particular confinement has consistently been injecting pain on every human being that you can find anywhere else. It is primarily for that reason why we then chose as a university that as and when these protocols and the challenges around the pandemic are beginning to be eased, we will then offer the opportunity to our students to graduate. We know how tough it is. That's partly the reason why we only confirmed much later, after we knew that now being on level 1, that was announced by the president, then it means that the restrictions in terms of movement are at least now a bit easier, which then gives us the opportunity to do what we are doing. But we are doing it primarily because we know as well how important it is for our students to graduate. We are an open distance and e-learning institution, and primarily the manner in which we conduct our business is virtual. It is particularly for that reason why then when we have an opportunity of graduating our students, that we should be there in person so that you can also participate at your graduation ceremony. So all that I want to say for all of you right now is that please remember you're here to celebrate. The celebration, I've never seen a single individual who is celebrating, who at the same time, in the midst of celebration, they are also morose, right? So the expectation is that now that we are graduating, let us ensure that we can exemplify a person that is excited. It is within that particular context that and when your names are presented by our senior executives from the colleges, as you stand here, please remember that we have a team from the photography who are going to be taking your pictures. So which means that as you stand here, please face in that direction so that they can take a good photograph or a picture of you, okay? As soon as your name has been presented and that part has taken place, you proceed to where I'll be sitting. I'll be representing the Chancellor of the university, whose primary role is to award degrees, as we all know, as the titular head of the institution. So that's what I'll be doing. Now, in the case of you who are receiving your degrees, when you get to that point, I'm requesting that you kneel. It's part and parcel of the process that accompanies the award of the degrees. As you do so, please remember that what it simply just signifies is that you'll be humbling yourself at the point at which as a university will be lifting you up by the mere award of the degree. So I'm just requesting that you understand why that process is associated with the graduation ceremony in this particular fashion. And soon thereafter then proceed briskly to our acting registrar, Dr. Jacobs, who will then be congratulating you on the work well done. So I just want to say that let us all enjoy the opportunity that we have this afternoon. And finally, that as you walk on the stage here, regardless of being anxious, try to walk like a person who already is a graduate of the institution. So how do you do that? You walk upright with confidence. Okay? So that is what we'll be expecting of you. And I want to say once again, you are most welcome, and I also want to welcome Mrs. Makanya, who's with us here this afternoon. Thank you so much. Let us enjoy our graduation ceremony then. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say before we proceed with the graduation, as it is going to be unfolding from now onwards, that please remember that once you've graduated, you will automatically be part and parcel of this august university. So you'll be having that umbilical cord which connects you with the university. And for that reason, please remember, you will automatically also be part and parcel of the alumni of the institution. So by virtue of the power then entrusted to me as Vice Chancellor, I will now proceed to confer the degrees and diplomas of the university on the candidates whose names appear in the program, and I request our executive deans and our senior officials to present the candidates to me. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received the degree of Honours Bachelor of Education. Nolu Babalo Tamara Ntatiso. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Education. Unisa Jodeline Adams. Mishka Sali. Maraldia Lizan Sees. Elvira Fortain. Jami Donnelly Jordan. Julian Dominic Packing. Yuna Samuels.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, Fungai Chikora receives the degree of Bachelor of Administration. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Patience Chiziva. Gert Johannes Pieterse. Chantal Otile Mateis. Renesia Jane Ockers. Anastasia D. Reddy. Gracious Washaya. Nicole Felix. Loveness Kowo. Vuyokazi Nqonqa. Caroline Rumbizai Mahashi.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Accounting Sciences. David Sebastian Rabi Swas. Radia Caswell. Garth Carl Julius Hendrikse. Gradwell William Rath. Gladys Adelaide Machauri. Delelsi Makoronga.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Laws. Andre Arnott. Elrica Thiat. Miriam Bongiwe Kalolo. Caroline Chigwaya. Linda Joyce Whiteman.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Baccalaureus Technologia. Saul Ngadi. Msawenkosi Mkoka. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Science. Temba Kumbulani Kumalo. Rashid Mohammed. Robin Herbert.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Hendricks Shabai. Mercia Natasha Company.
There's an honors. She came late.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the Bachelor of Arts Honours in the College of Human Sciences. Sandisiwe Sulani.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Jessica Esther Gossman.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Social Work. Mercy Hlabangana. Camila Loretta Justina Moni. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Arts: Renee Jolanda Hendricks. Tithonia Eloise Rowe. Gillian Elizabeth Gregory. Patiswa Aldofina Zilwa. Poncho Magdalene Machediso. Lizelle Carol Peterson. Nadira Gafour.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive the diploma in the College of Law: Nomsa Teresa Mabika, Bianca Mashaliwi,
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates receive the National Diploma: Josimang Lebeko, Phumeza Ntuyetwa,
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to request that we give our graduates another round of applause, please. Thank you very much. I just want to extend our gratitude to the members of our staff, that besides the senior executives of our colleges that I mentioned at the beginning, that I need to thank the members of our administrative part of the university, that is the graduations division, institutional advancement, university estates, that section of facilities management, as well as our technical team that has supported us in the work that we've been doing this afternoon. I can tell you now that without that particular support, this work that we do would not have been possible. It is for that reason why I need at this point then to thank them. But similarly, to thank our own executive deans, their deputies, directors of schools, and senior managers from the side of our colleges, because we know that the work that they do is not only just about representing those specific units that they come to graduations to represent, but they represent far more than that. They represent the entire staff complement of the university, starting with our academics, our support staff, as well as our administrative staff. I'm saying this because of the nature of the university that we are. As an open distance and e-learning institution, our own success is contingent on that collaborative effort that can be found across the board from the members of our university community. But I also want to say that as our graduates, you are special. The work that you do that helps you to succeed to get where you are right now has to do primarily with the focus that you have in life. I can guarantee you that I've never heard of any Unisa graduate who says that, you know, Unisa loves me so much that when I enrolled for the first time, they said, because of how far and how deep we love you, we've made up our minds that we shall be awarding you a degree or a diploma. We've never heard of that. All that we know is that students who are studying with Unisa always complain about how tough it is. So which means that if you then succeed to spend all those hours to toil in a manner in which you've done and acquitting yourself in this positive manner that helps you to succeed, it immediately says that you are a special type of a person that can be found within our own communities, within our own country, and our neighboring countries. Because very few people commit to doing something and ensuring that they can see it through. It's a special quality that I can assure you will assist you to make a success of virtually anything that you choose to do in life. And you must ensure that we keep that, because that is what will assist us as we venture into our own careers, whether in the context of being employed or in the context of being employers. Because remember that there are special qualities that are required of all of us to make a success of what we do. And we know that as we are going to be building and rebuilding the economy that has collapsed as a result of the challenge that is confronting us and the world, as it were, there is so much more that needs to be done. We need to double up our efforts to ensure that that which we do must be done excellently. That which we invest in must also be done with the sole purpose of ensuring that we rebuild from the ashes, as it were. Because that's the only way in which we can talk about the economy that has the capacity to deliver that which is required and expected of our own communities and our societies. And this cannot be expected of anyone else except graduates. So you must then understand that there are so many expectations that are associated with us as the graduates of the university. So, in congratulating you then, I just want to say that it is my pleasure and privilege to congratulate you on achieving this wonderful milestone in your lives. But in doing so, I also want to congratulate your own lecturers, who in this particular instance, with the work that they have done, they have worked with you to co-create knowledge and learning in this increasingly precarious world that I've just spelled out. Graduations, as I've said right at the beginning, are expected to be celebrations. They are a time when we enjoy an immense sense of satisfaction on the job well done, the job that we've completed. They are a time when people such as myself and the team that is sitting in front here with me are there to extend our own gratitude to you as the special category of our people. Because I can tell you that as I do this, I'm both congratulating you and sharing these profound words and also exhortation that you have to take with you as you leave this place and going back to your respective homes. But I just want you to remember that what you hear is something that you must put to good use so that it not only just happens here, but takes you beyond. And I want to assure you that as graduates, always remember that you become and commit yourselves to becoming lifelong learners, so that you can understand that the challenges that are confronting us in life are such that the changes that are happening are so rapid that whatever knowledge and skills that we acquire at any given point in time soon fall into disuse unless we consistently upgrade ourselves in order to acquire the kind of knowledge and skills that are appropriate with these kinds of developments that are happening around us. So I just want to say that let's keep that at the back of our minds. Now, you are successful individuals, as I've said. You should never then forget that this goes hand in hand with the fact that you have an intellectual ability which has helped you to make a success of your own studies. But an intellectual ability is a gift. Now, to your credit, you've honored and you've continued to honor your gift by testing it, by growing it, and challenging it to increasing limits, which partly explains why you made a success of your own studies. But I just want to say at this point that, by the way, our graduates, being intelligent is easy because it is a gift. And I can assure you that everything else beyond your intellect is a choice that you have to make. The manner in which you conduct yourself, your kindness or your cruelty, your humility or egotism, your ethics or lack thereof, your corruptibility or your incorruptibility, your contribution to society or your destruction thereof, your example or lack thereof. Let me remind you, this will ensure that you build a proud legacy for your families and for yourselves. But the opposite of what I've said, as I've been contrasting all these, critical, pointers of that which is required of us as individual human beings, is destructive. And I can tell you that they will lead to a shameful legacy, not only just for you, but also for your families and everyone else who's associated with you. And I can tell you that you will not like to find yourselves in such a situation. So you will therefore stand or fall by the choices that you make. And we therefore need to understand that it is not just our cleverness or intelligence that will assist us to make this kind of a success. So because even though Your intellect is a gift. Many people actually end up abusing it. And if you do that and manipulating your others, we tend to do so because we believe that somehow we are entitled to act in such fashions. But let me tell you, those are very destructive. So those are kinds of choices that will lead to a disaster. And of course, will dash our hopes of the success that we could have made with our lives. Now, the next part then, or the phase of your life's journey, will not be based on what you already know, but on what you are prepared to know, or the knowledge that you are keen to seek in order for you to make a success of your own studies. I just want to say at this point in time, you are important as our graduates. You've joined the ranks of the brightest in this country and the world. Well done. Say for your success, you are part and parcel of the brightest and also the best. And I want to say to you, ensure that as members of the Unisa community now, as our graduates, continue to seek to achieve more so that we can be proud of you and the future that you are going to be pursuing. I want to say as I end right now that as our graduates, you have contributed in a tangible manner in your progress, but also have made your families proud. And I want you to be congratulated once again with another round of applause. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I want to remind all of you as our graduates that, by the way, now that you are graduates of the University of South Africa, please remember that we have students who are keen and yearning to pursue education, but unfortunately do not have the means to do so. We know that in our country, there's an opportunity that has been offered by extending NSFAS funding to such students. But let me assure you, unfortunately, not all students succeed to access this fund. So the majority of them still fall by the wayside, and as a result cannot realize their dreams. It is for that reason why we never fail to encourage those who are graduates that it's important for us to remember those students and make a contribution that will assist them. So the kind of contribution that we're talking about is just contributing to the bursary fund that we've established. It is very easy for all of you. I can assure you, you don't have to struggle. You don't have to leave your homes, hop into the trains or taxis or buses to go to the nearest bank. We've made your lives easy as an ODL institution that you can deposit whatever contribution that you are making online by simply accessing the university via www.unisa.ac.za and choosing the button Donate. And I can assure you that once you've selected that button, the instruction that simply follows thereafter is what is the amount that you intend contributing. Once you've chosen that amount and you press the appropriate button, that's exactly what happens to you. It is so painless. You do it before you even know it. And the money shall have reached our bursary fund. And I want to assure you, many of us have a wrong understanding of what it means to make these kinds of contributions. We think that it can only be done by captains of industry for the simple reason that they have deep pockets. And unfortunately, that is not the case. We are building philanthropists amongst our own graduates because it is that desire of support of others that you will discover that you will have satisfaction that now comes from within, as you put it, which is innate. And you'll be surprised that once you start doing that, you will find that life becomes very interesting because you always look forward to doing something more. And it's a good part of citizenship. And we want to encourage all our graduates to do that. Let me assure you, whether it is 10 rands, or it is 50, or 100, whatever the amount that you can afford, don't ever think that it's a small amount. When you think of the number of graduates that have gone through this university since its inception in 1873, you will then appreciate that obviously more than 1 million students have graduated at this university. So which means that however the amount is, if all those who've graduated can commit to make that kind of a contribution, every student who desires to pursue higher education will be in a position to come to Unisa and study and be successful. That's all that we need to think about, and not worry about anything else. So that's a message that I want to leave with all of you at this point. Now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, after this announcement, I will therefore be asking all of us to stand for the singing of the national anthem. And I just want to remind you that, by the way, we should be excited about our national anthem because it unites all of us. And everyone else must be knowing it off by heart. And I want us to sing the national anthem with that enthusiasm because we are graduates of the University of South Africa. So I would therefore like to request all of us then to stand at this point and sing the national anthem, and we shall be accompanied by the musical instruments. Shall we all then sing the national anthem? Now, to our own graduates, I want to say finally that please remember that as and when you leave this hall and go back to our respective homes, let us celebrate the achievements that we have succeeded to reach the milestone that all of you have reached at this point. Celebrations are the right thing to do. I know that in some of our families, we are going to be taken out to enjoy some sumptuous meals, I assume. I know that some of you have already organized, perhaps, that you are going to be enjoying some meat, from tonight onwards, maybe until Monday, I guess. That is part and parcel of these celebrations. So we don't slaughter for nothing. We slaughter because we are excited and want to enjoy. So let's do so as families, but ensure that we do so with safety in mind, because these protocols are still remaining intact. so that we can continue to be healthy members of our societies. So let's remember that similarly, as Unisa graduates, we must be disciplined. That is what has consistently been the core value that has been understood by being a Unisa graduate. So let's enjoy ourselves. Remember that at some point we need then to rest so that we can be productive members of society. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say at this point, with the powers entrusted to me as Vice Chancellor, I dissolve this congregation of the University of South Africa.